Hey everybody, it's Lynnette Khalfani-Cox. I'm the co-founder of the free financial advice site, AskTheMoneyCoach.com. I want to talk to you today about a subject that I know a lot about, credit card debt. Now, a lot of you know my own story. You know that back in 2001, I was $100,000 in credit card debt alone. I know it's so awful, and I hate to say it sometimes, but it's true. I had $100,000 in credit card bills. Fortunately, I was able to pay it all off in 3 years. I never missed a single payment. And then I wrote a book about it, which became a New York Times bestseller. The book is Zero Debt, The Ultimate Guide to Financial Freedom. So I want to share with you today an idea. It's about what you shouldn't be doing if you're trying to get out of debt. In fact, I call this the 4 dumbest things that you can do if you're deep in debt. That's right, I said it, dumb. These are not smart things to do if you're already deep in debt. The first thing, and it's a big mistake that I see a lot of people making when they're struggling with credit card bills, is to keep charging and keep spending. Now, this sounds counterintuitive because you would think, well, of course, duh, if I'm in debt, I better slow the roll on the spending and cut it out. But actually, believe it or not, a lot of people do exactly the opposite. I don't know if it's just something with the human mind and our psyche that we kind of feel like, hey, I deserve this or something. Or mainly we kind of feel like, oh, well, I'm already $10,000 in debt. I'm $25,000 in debt. I'm $50,000 in debt. What difference is another $500 or another $1,000 or so going to make? Well, I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. And when you keep the spending up, you're simply digging yourself into a deeper financial hole. You're making it much tougher for you to financially recover and to come back from that. And frankly, you're setting yourself up for economic failure down the road because you're sending yourself and others around you, maybe it's your spouse, your kids, etc., the wrong financial message, which is that I don't have to change. I don't have to adjust. I don't have to do anything different, even if I'm facing a problem. That's a big mistake. It's a dumb mistake to make if you're deep in debt. Second dumb mistake I see a lot of people make when they're racked with credit card bills is taking out a home equity loan to try to pay off the credit card debt. Oh my goodness, you're just putting your house at risk right now. And especially for those of you who either A, don't have a plan, a legitimate, realistic, feasible plan for how you're going to pay off the mortgage debt. And B, you might not have cleared up the situation that got you into debt in the first place. What do I mean by that? I've often told people about the dreaded D's that can get people into financial trouble and make them wind up in debt. The dreaded D's are downsizing, divorce, a death in the family of the main breadwinner, disability, or disease. If any one of these things happens to you, obviously it's going to hurt your budget in some way. And for a lot of people, it forces them to turn to plastic. Well, what if you say got a pink slip from the job and you've been downsized, one of the dreaded D's, and you still have all these credit card bills to pay, but all of a sudden you're taking out a home equity loan? Well, again, without a real concrete plan, without any prospect for how you might pay the bills, maybe you haven't even gotten a new job yet, why would you want to put your home at risk? That's an ill-advised choice. That's really a super, in my opinion, big mistake, a dumb mistake, and one that you can avoid. Don't make the mistake of swapping one form of debt, a secured loan, which is a mortgage, for another form of debt, an unsecured credit card bill. It can land you into hot water. A third mistake I see a lot of people making when they're deep in debt is to borrow haphazardly from family members and friends. And my goodness, if you think it's bad to put your home at risk, think about what it could mean to put your relationships at risk, whether it's from relatives, trusted cousins or uncles or parents or siblings, etc., or even just trusted friends. Maybe these are friends that you've known for a lifetime or even 5, 10, 15 years or more. It's an awful thing when money is on the table between relatives and friends and the deal goes bad. And by the deal, I mean the loan or the borrowed funds, because it just makes everybody uncomfortable. It just puts you in an awkward position. And frankly, it also has the risk, as I said, of making the two of you have a falling out if for whatever reason it doesn't get paid or if the money doesn't get paid on time. So I suggest in general, don't be in the borrowing or lending game because it can really put your relationships at risk. Borrowing money when you're deep in debt is one of my 3 dumbest things that I think you could do. And finally, the 4th dumb thing to do if you're deep in debt is to ignore all the warning signs that you're in the danger zone, that you're in the red zone. What do I mean by this? Well, those of you who've experienced debt like I have, you know when things are getting tight. You know when you're only able to make minimum payments. You know, for example, if you get turned down for credit. You know if your credit score is suffering. You know if you're starting to argue with your spouse or your honey about money issues. All of these are warning signs. They're the danger signs that are showing you that you have too much debt and you need to self-correct and fix the problem. Sometimes people wait until they hit rock bottom. They go through a divorce. They have a major financial catastrophe like bankruptcy or foreclosure. And then, and only then, do they try to fix the problem. I don't want you to wait until you're on the brink of divorce or the brink of bankruptcy or foreclosure in order to decide this is, something's got to change here. Something's got to give. Don't make the mistake of ignoring those warning signs. And there's a ton of other warning signs that you have too much debt. It could be other things like you have to constantly shift your credit cards just to be able to get 0% offers. And they can be a good thing to get 0% offers, but those 0% offers are necessary because that's the only way that you can meet your minimum payment. It may be that you're actually missing payments. That's a warning sign that you have too much credit card debt. So I want you to think about these 4 things. Take them in the spirit in which they're intended, which is out of love and generosity and really my care and concern for you. It might sound kind of harsh to say the 4 dumbest things you can do if you're deep in debt, but I really want to change the mindset and get you to thinking about smart ways to manage your credit and debt. This has been Lynnette Khalfani-Cox of AskTheMoneyCoach.com.